Hello and welcome. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&ChewGuy, and this is the 30th review, the number 30 review of Series 2, Long Cut Wintergreen. And we will be taking a look at this. This is Grower Select, the limited edition Kodiak product, and we are going to take it right over the desk to get a closer look. And here we are. So, what you have is the lid layout here. Kodiak is obvious. That is embossed. So is Growers Select. And then after that, everything else is flat to the can. There is a fish, which I am guessing is a largemouth bass. It is being denoted as Great Lakes Dark-Fired Long Cut Wintergreen. All right, it's got a thin raised rim in the American Snuff Company fashion. And that is about it for the lid. On the side, aged 10 years, okay. Kodiak Grower Select number 1, batch number 1, 01 is denoted there. There is a 02. I do not have that yet. I found this somewhat by accident about 5.5 hours ago. Wintergreen, you have the fish again, and then Great Lakes Dark-Fired Long Cut. When you scour the earth for the world's greatest tobacco, you're bound to uncover some unlikely treasures. Enjoy this very limited batch of Great Lakes Dark-Fired tobacco, aged 10 years. You then have denoting that it is a standard size dip can that is 1.2 net weight ounces, or 34.02 grams. It is moist snuff, and there is a barcode. You have American Snuff Company branding, and then the manufacturer's information. Manufactured by American Snuff Company, LLC, headquartered out of Memphis, Tennessee. 100% imported tobacco. So, mixed feeling on that, but if it is Great Lakes source, that could be on the Canadian side. And, you know, at that point, whatever. The website is kodiakspirit.com. On the back, American Snuff Company back sticker on a can that is glossy on the outer, and then on the inner where the sticker is, it is textured. All right, so it has all the usual, including the second warning label. The date code here is J2, the last letter and digit. So corresponding, what is that? The September 2022, this was produced. And we are going to get into it. So it's going to have somewhat of a rubbery band, like, you know what? I don't know if it's my imagination, but I feel like I can smell wintergreen here. So let's get this cut open and take a look at the product inside. And that is what you're looking at. So, in person, it has a little bit more of a brown tinge to it, but this is a fairly good representation. Let me see if I can bring the... For whatever reason, the light changes when I bring this other hand in. I do not know why. That is a pretty good representation right there. So it is the Kodiak / Grizzly Long Cut. That is a cut that is varied in thickness. There are thicker bits there. This is the usual for American Snuff Company products. I'm going to smell the can real quick while we have down here. Okay, there is a pretty good fresh wintergreen. It is not coming off as overly sweet. It is very moist. My thumbprint, which you will probably, or fingerprint rather, which you probably will not be able to, there you can see that one. It's staying in place. For a American Stuff Company product. The moisture on this is pretty good. They usually run dry. The pinching it's all right. I'm not going to put it in yet until we get back up top here. Moisture's really good on this though, which I'm happy about. I lean away from American Snuff Company products due to them being too dry for my liking. Okay, so let's take this back up top after I clean my finger off here and thumb now that I've decided to completely wreck my hand before we even get to that part. That was a joke, but whatever. Oh, look, another message on the inside. Small batch, big flavor. Well, keep it simple, that's what I say. Back in a moment. And we are back. Okay, it's a pretty strong wintergreen smell coming off the product. Now, they have this promoted on their website as being a dark-fired tobacco flavor, tobacco forward, with a light hand wintergreen. But I am not smelling a light hand with this, so we will see. I'm actually having to back that, which doesn't say much for the cut. Now, I still have it up front, which is not my normal spot anymore, but there is a significant burn going on. So, with wintergreen, it's tough to say, because if they're using wintergreen oil, that in itself gives a burn. There's a lot of burn. There is a considerable amount of burn with this. I used to hate that, but I've gotten used to it over the years. The wintergreen is not a Copenhagen sweet wintergreen by any means. It's pretty stiff. That said, for as much burn as coming off it, the burn must be somewhat nicotine, because the flavor is reserved, as wintergreens go. Man, it's all contact too. There's tobacco and the flavor going on there, but look, if you want, and I'm not trying to turn this into something else, if you want a dark-fired tobacco flavor with some wintergreen, you want to go with Copenhagen, Skull Original. Now, it's fine cut, but if you're looking for dark-fired tobacco forward with wintergreen going on, that's your guy, flavor-wise. Whether you can deal with the cut, I don't know. But to tell you the truth, the cut on this wasn't that great. Man, it's still going. It's still burnt, and I've been dipping over here off and on all day long. This exact spot. Okay, I mean, it's good. I'm wondering how much nicotine. I can feel the nicotine. I feel like I'm... Okay, let's get up and go running. Or something like that. Flavor-wise, I'm not a wintergreen guy. So, maybe a wintergreen guy would be one better to describe flavors and whatnot. It's got a dark fired tobacco aspect, but that in correspondence with the Wintergreen, I'm really not seeing anything out of the realm of the usual for American Snuff Company products such as Grizzly or Kodiak. So yeah, I mean, if you want to stand out American Snuff Company Wintergreen, then you want to go find Grizzly Fine Cut Wintergreen because that's the one that breaks with the rest. This, I'm really not saying it. Not to say that it's bad. It's not bad at all. I believe the quality to be high, and you know, there's nothing telling me it looks like a quality, classy product. But to suggest that it is something very different, new, and, you know, extraordinary, not really. Now, in my state, this is priced within reason. I think I paid a little bit over $6 for it. And it is worth that. But to suggest to you that, you know, this is some new twist or Wintergreen that no one, you know, was expecting, and I hope they keep this. And I can't tell you that, unfortunately. It's good. It's strong. I would be wondering how it sits nicotine-wise with Kodiak's regular Wintergreen. But to make it into something, you know, out of this world, new, and you know, it's not that. It's not that, and that is what I was sort of hoping for. And it's not to cut on American Snuff Company. It really isn't, because you know, I mean, I was wondering what was going to happen with that Copenhagen Fine Cut Wintergreen, and really, at the end of the day, people are like, "Oh, well, it's got stronger nicotine." No, it's just the nicotine hitting you faster in a different way because it's fine cut. The fine cut Wintergreen from Copenhagen is just a finer cut of the long cut Wintergreen from Copenhagen. And with that product and the way they put it out there and whatnot, expectations were somewhat limited. The only curveball I could see coming with that is if they decided to put a Skoal original in a Copenhagen can, which they did not. This, however, led one to believe packaging and what the website said that this could be something, you know, out there. And it's really not. It's a strong, non-sweet Wintergreen with an okay long cut and really good nicotine. Should you check it out? Yeah. I think all the Kodiak products, now that they've gone through the rebranding image and whatnot, are worthy of a checkout. I realize they are elevated in price, depending on your state, depends on how elevated. But they are all quality products. I have never been like, oh, God, what is it? Like, that doesn't happen with Kodiak or Grizzly, for that matter. Grizzly is not a favorite brand of mine. They don't really have anything that I really go to, but I mean, American Snuff Company puts out quality products. They just put out products that don't vibe with my personal likes, with the exception, and go back and look because I did them earlier this year. The Cougar line, their budget metal lid line, that has been also rebranded lately. The Cougar was surprising. The whole line was really surprising that they had it to that level. And I believe that should be probably the thing that should be promoted. Like, all their stuff is quality, but the budget Cougar line, like the bottom of the line budget, is like, what? what are you doing? Moisture levels were high, nicotine was good, flavors were great. Like, it was like, what the heck just happened? It's like the American Snuff Company version of like if Longhorn figured it out tomorrow. It's like, what is going on? This is good. I'm glad I tried it, and I think, you know, it's going to be limited. It's going to be limited. Can you tell anything about a 10-year age difference? No. I mean, I wouldn't know what aged oral tobacco tasted like anyway. I mean, do you? Like, what is that? That, you know, it's not, like, I have an idea of what happens when pipe tobacco is cellared properly for a while, and what happens with nicotine, and, you know, how it breaks down, and, but this stuff, I have no idea. Now, was this tobacco made into dip and then aged 10 years, or was it tobacco that was just aged 10 years and then made into dip? This has been my review, and I hope it has been helpful, of Kodiak's Grower Select Batch 01 Wintergreen. Again, quality product, quality packaging, looks classy, a lot of nicotine, but something terribly different? Not really. And you know what? If I was between this and the Cougar Wintergreen, I'd probably go with the Cougar Wintergreen, to be honest. I mean, if I was stuck with one or the other for the next 5 months, let's say, I'd go with the Cougar. That said, I do believe this has more nicotine than that. So, that is my take. This has been me and my cream little cuss, second generation. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&ChewGuy. I do hope you all are well. Do take care of yourselves. And as always, God bless.